Hello and welcome to another tutorial session with me. My name is Jay. I'm a coding tutor, and also today I hooked up my webcam so you can see me. I can't see you though because this is just a recording. But anyway, so the webcam seems to be working. I figured out how to use it. I have my second monitor there, so whenever I am explaining something or doing something, I will look there. But sometimes I'll be looking here. But when I'm coding, I'll be looking there. So just get used to that system. So today's video is mainly about testing to see if the webcam works. I just want to make sure the microphone is selected. Yeah, it is selected. Yeah, that's good. That is good. And but today's video, yes, it's mainly about testing the webcam, see if the setup works, see if everything works. But also I have to teach something. So today what I'm going to do is I think there is one video I've been thinking about doing for quite some time now. It was, hold on, I'm just checking. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm just preparing my PowerPoint here. So let's do that. Okay, so today's this one is about how to deploy a Bootstrap project on Vercel. Yeah, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I'm going to edit the text. Can I edit while it is recording? Let me find out. So I can go to edit. I can go to text. There it is. And I can change that to, hold on. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. Yes. Okay, and it is summer here in India, so I'm gonna drink a lot of water. Okay. All right, so there you go. That's what I am trying to do. I'm trying to do this. So let me go back to my screen. There we go. This is what I'm trying to do. So as always, I have a website, guys. Please go ahead, check it out. And of course, we have a Discord server if you can join that and all that, right? So what we are trying to know, the first thing you want to do is first you have to have a Bootstrap project ready. Okay, now I, of course, I'm a coding tutor, so I have a lot of ready to go projects. So let me find something here. Okay, Bootstrap. Hold on, something simple. Yeah, I have this NASA project. Okay, yeah. So I have this NASA project. There we go. Yes, it looks okay. I have the output. It's looking fine. I'm a photographer, so I use photos of my own photography. So you can check out my photography as well. It's there on my website. Just check it out. And this is the NASA API website that I built. Yeah, it's working fine. It's looking good. Okay, all right. So this is my Bootstrap project. So first step number one, make sure that you have a Bootstrap project ready, or you can just use one of my projects if you're just practicing. Now what I want to do is I want to create a folder here, and then get ready. Second thing, what you want to do is you want to create a GitHub repository. Private, public, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to log into my GitHub account. Okay, there we go. Okay, so one thing you want to remember here is, hold on, I'm just creating that. So, I need to show, right, sorry, I need to show you how I'm doing that too. You could be new to GitHub, in which case, yeah, so I'm going to say a Bootstrap video tutorial, Vercel. Yeah, so this is what is going to be I'm going to keep it public. It's fine. I'm going to say a simple repo to demonstrate Vercel deployment of a Bootstrap project for the YouTube tutorial recording. I know. I like to go detail. I like to go detail with my descriptions. It's always a good idea to put a nice description because you end up creating so many repositories, and it is better if you spend a few seconds extra explaining what something is, even if it's something only trivial, because this repository that I'm creating, I might not look at it again ever, right? But still, if I ever have to look at it, having a description makes it easy for me to think and go back in time and understand what it is all about, right? Okay, let's keep going. And I'm gonna add a README file. Okay, git ignore. I'm just using vanilla JS. So just remember, okay, like when we talk about git ignore, it is useful when you're using a framework like Node.js or Express.js, stuff like that. But here we are just using vanilla JS, so we don't really need a git ignore license. Again, it really doesn't matter. It's just a simple project. And the repository is created. There we go. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and clone it. Let me go ahead and clone that here. One thing I want to add is you will see here that I'm using the music folder. You can see here that I'm using the music folder. And that is something which you need to think about, especially on Windows computer. What happens is OneDrive, the Microsoft cloud service, is built in, and most of the time it is automatically turned on. So which means everything you do on the computer, documents and folders like that, they get automatically synced. So if you are keeping code files, we are already using GitHub to back up our files. So there's no point in asking OneDrive also to back up our coding files, right? So as much as possible, try to use a folder which has no connection to OneDrive or any cloud service. And this is an even bigger problem on the Mac computers, right? Because at least on Windows, that OneDrive only syncs documents, desktop, and things like that. But I think on the iCloud, everything gets synced, right? So just keep that in mind. Make sure that your GitHub files are not getting synced to OneDrive as well. One quick solution I do is, I know that the music folder and the video folder don't get synced on OneDrive by default. So I like to keep my code in the music or the videos folder. That's just a simple trick to avoid unnecessary syncing, right? Okay, all right. So there you go. My project is, I'm gonna clone this, right? There we go. Okay, that is done. It's cloned, and next thing is I'm going to open this in VS Code. Okay, now as usual, whenever you're doing Bootstrap, you need 3 files. You need index.html, you need script.js, you need style.css, 3 files, right? Now I'm gonna go back to my code pen. I just need to copy all the files, copy, dump it here. Go to my CSS. CSS I have nothing. JavaScript, I have some things. Okay, all right, here we go. Now I don't want to keep this style file empty, so I'm just going to say kept empty on purpose. I'll just put something because empty files will not get synced to this one. And I want to make sure that the script file is getting loaded. There we go. And what I like to do is I'm going to just run it on the computer locally. Yeah, it's working fine. I want to open this in the browser as well, just to double check that it is working fine. Make sure you open your developer tools. And yeah, it's working. You can see on the right side, you can see on the left side, things are looking cool. Okay, there we go. So GitHub repo is ready, and of course add all your files. Yeah, I know that goes without saying, but still I'm just gonna put it as a step. Okay, now the next thing is, of course, log into your Vercel account. Okay, so this is where something I want to explain. All right, now previously I used to use a service called Heroku. If you see my blog, I've written an article about it, why we stopped using Heroku. Now, I'm from India, and there have been some new financial rules for online transactions, right? The government is tweaking the way online transactions are done and adding an extra layer of security. So this is creating some amount of changes in the way recurring payments are processed in India. Now, some companies are now kind of trying to figure out how to make their stuff work with the new regulations. But however, some companies are kind of just, getting out of that completely. So Heroku, it does not, it looks like they're, maybe India is not such a big customer base for them. I mean, usually these things are business driven. I don't think there's anything like, oh, it's India, so we're not gonna do something for them. I don't think so. I think their customer base from India is very small, so it's not worth the implementing the new system. So we used to use Heroku for deployment of web-based projects like Bootstrap, React.js, Node.js, and things like that. But then Heroku stopped working in India. So then in one of my classes, a student, he mentioned Vercel to me. I mean, of course, I'm an Azure developer. I've been an Azure developer for 10 years. So I always use Azure for deployment. So normally I would be making a video on how to deploy it for Azure. It just so happens, like if you check out my GitHub, let me just go here. If you go to my GitHub account, you'll see that there is a repository called Continuous Deployment for Students, where I have put detailed steps on how to deploy on Azure. And I might even make a video on one of these days. So ideally, I would have preferred to make a video on Azure. But Azure, again, there's a problem. So once again, payments on Azure are, Microsoft is trying to, slowly make the necessary, make their services compatible with the new payment rules. They are making an effort because obviously Microsoft has a huge customer base in India, but it is complicated. It is complicated. So for my students, if I make a video on Azure deployment, it may not be feasible, even if they're not from India, even if they're from US or UK or something. Perhaps the student is a teenager or a college student. They may not have a credit card because you need a credit card to use Azure. So that is why I'm making a video on Vercel, because Vercel is free and it works for my India-based students and also for my overseas students. So that's the whole ideal, why this video is about Vercel. So let's get back to it. So what you have to do here is, next step, go ahead, log into your Vercel account. You can just use your GitHub account, by the way. So, and there you go, right? So you get this, right? You get this, and then you go to, and you come here. Now all we have to do is connect our GitHub project to Vercel. So that is what I'm going to do. So what I'll do is I'll go here and I'm going to go to my terminal, and then you know what, I need to mention something here. So hold on. So let me just mention something on my README, otherwise it'll get lost. I have a standard signature that I use in all my projects. So there we go. I'm a freelancer. I need to make sure that anybody who looks at my stuff, they know who did this and why. So just putting my signature there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna say git status, git add dot, git status again, git commit, added files, making a YouTube tutorial on how to use Bootstrap, vanilla JS deployment with Vercel. That's what this is all about. Okay, here we go. And git push. Okay, now if I go here and look at this repository, where is that? Yeah, there we go. If I reload, so there it is. Okay, now you see what I did there, right? First I made sure that the code is running on my computer. Once I know for sure it is running, I went ahead and committed it, and I'm just double checking by visiting github.com to make sure that yes, the files are available. So now that I know the files are available, it's working fine. Now I'm gonna go to my Vercel dashboard. I'm gonna say click add a new project, and here I need to select this one. So there you go. This is the one I just created. I'm going to import it. Okay, there's no need to worry about frameworks and things like that. You can literally just click deploy. But to be on the safer side, I am going to, no, that's it. It's pretty straightforward. I don't have to do any other steps for this. There's no framework or anything like that. So there it is. Okay, something is happening. Right, something is happening. There we go. And it's working. That's it. So if I go to the dashboard, I can see here, and I can go here, and I can just, yeah, there it is. Click on this. Deployment status, right? Visit. And there you go. That's my project. And I can open this in Developer Tools, load NASA API, and there it is. It's working just fine. And let's say if I make some changes, okay? So I'm just gonna make a quick change. So I will go to index.html, and I'm just gonna add a note like, okay, this was easy, you know. I'm trying to see if the AI is gonna help me out, but the AI is slowing down. I use this, you know, guys, I just want to add a note that I'm a subscriber for GitHub Copilot. It's about $10 a month, which is like 800 to 900 Indian rupees, which is a decent amount of money to pay every month. But I have become a huge fan of AI. I've always used external sources for my coding and everything because I can't remember everything, even from a young age. So this AI thing is really, really helping me. I've become a fan of AI. I'm using AI not only here, I'm using it in Canva, I'm using it in image generation, I'm using it in my thumbnails, designing. AI has become part of all of my workflow. It has been a huge help for me. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. Let's just add, like, this was easy enough. Now I'm going to say git status, and then git add, and then git commit. Made a quick change. Added a quick change. Added a quick change to show how changes get continuously deployed. Now remember, this is continuous deployment. So when you make a change, Vercel will automatically push. So this is actually continuous deployment. You know how you hear about it all the time, continuous deployment, continuous deployment. So this is actually continuous deployment. So I'm just showing that right now. So if I go back to the Vercel, this one, you can see here, if I go to my project and deployments, right? I go here and you can see that it says something is happening, okay? So just now something has happened. So I go to project, okay, and there you go, build logs. Yeah, something happened like few seconds ago, right? So there you go. Now this is going to be, okay, this is the latest deployment, right? Deployment, logs, okay, hold on. So yeah, this is the second one, right? This is the one from before. This is the second one. You'll notice something here. So you'll notice that each deployment happens on a separate domain. Now this is very important. So that way your main domain is never damaged. So here the main domain, now this is your main domain, right? So you'll notice that this has the easy enough and so on. However, you know, it is possible for you, it's assigned to main, so you can work on different branches. Now this part, as you can tell, I'm also a little confused. I'm still trying to figure it out. But the idea is different deployments end up in a different domain. So if this is actually on a separate domain, see, when I click on this, you'll see that that is actually a separate domain. So this is useful when you're testing out different branches and different features. And then when you're happy with everything, you can go here and you have an option to promote that to production. So I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to say promote to production. And now this has become, now whatever was in the test domain is being pushed to the main domain. So if I click on this now, it's still on the test domain. Hold on. So if I go back to my main project, okay, production rebuild, there you go. That's the production rebuild. There we go. That's the current one. Okay, and then you can go here and then you check out the main domain deployment. Okay, there we go. Domains, there we go. And that's our project. So whatever changes you make, I made this change, this was easy enough, and that is now already visible here. Yeah, it's working just fine. It's working just fine. Something about Elvis lighting over Italy. There you go. That is how you go ahead and do continuous deployment. So there you go. That's all I wanted to show you. So if you are practicing web development, Vercel can be your best friend. And this is where I'm going to say goodbye. Take care.